Okay, so the first thing I noticed about this toy pony that I guess was from the DI was that it has holes in its sides where I'm guessing wings used to be. So I was thinking about where those wings went and how they disappeared. And I'm in a drama class, so I decided to write a monologue poem from the point of view of the person who was there when those wings disappeared. So let's see how this goes, right? It's called My Little Pony. My Little Pony. No, not that kind of My Little Pony. This pony is unique, individual. I got her when I was 9 years and 6 days old. We were visiting yards to buy people's trash. The 2 quarters from my grandma's crocheted purse called to a deck of cards, a handhold mirror, and a pair of pink jelly shoes that could wrap my feet in summer sunsets and cotton candy. But I grasped those quarters and would not let them go. I knew somewhere, on some table, in some yard, there was something that was waiting for me. Last one, Mom said, and the quarters dug into my hands. This had to be it. My treasure hidden in some pile of this person's trash. Slowly I crawled from the back seat. Knickknacks still covered in age-old smoke, mountains of hand-knitted old lady sweaters, and a table of Avon, Mary Kay, Tupperware, Pampered Chef, a collection of at-home selling on a table big enough to hold a lifetime of failure. But what was that? Stuck between 2 piles of jigsaw puzzles. They're all missing pieces, I learned that the hard way. A flash of purple shimmered in the sun. My Little Pony. She was so beautiful with her flowing violet locks and that pure white body. 2 delicate wings that could carry her anywhere, gracefully shimmery and delicately delightful. And 1 round blue sticker, 50 cents. Puffed up with purple pony pride, I pranced to the shriveled Avon, Mary Kay, Tupperware, Pampered Chef lady, releasing the quarters from my tight grasp. She blew a smoke ring as she pocketed the change and smiled a sad smile. That was my Melissa's. Melissa sounded like a good name, and I told her so. I think that's what I'll name her, I said. I still don't understand the pained shadow that hardened her face. So quickly, I galloped with my newfound prize all the way to the car. Melissa, my little pony. We spent all summer playing together. I brushed her hair. She flew around the backyard. We even made a bed for her. It was just a cereal box cut in half and filled with newspaper, but it was right next to mine, so Melissa loved it. She thanked me every night and told me of all the places we'd fly the next day. But once school started, people said mean things about Melissa. But I couldn't leave her alone, all by herself, in that big, dark house. So I'd hide her in my pocket and pet her all through school. And the bell would jump me from my petting, and then we'd canter home. Every day, me and Melissa against the whole playground. And then me and Melissa against the whole cafeteria. And then me and Melissa against my locker. And then me and Melissa against the whole world. It was nice not to be alone. Even when kids made fun of my ugly clothes, Melissa would always whisper to me, "You have wings. You have wings. You have wings." Isn't that right, Melissa? And I did. As long as I was with Melissa, we could always fly away. One night, she told me that she had chosen me to come to the yard sale. She needed only the best friend, someone as pretty and graceful and awesome as her. And she told me I was more special than any other girl in my whole town. Maybe, and she said this part particularly importantly, maybe even the whole world. My Melissa, my best friend. But then I met a boy. He was a stupid boy, which I've learned since they mostly are. But I wanted to be his friend. And Melissa said she thought I liked him, liked him, you know? And there was this party, and I never went to parties because I was always afraid that someone would make fun of Melissa. But she said I should go. So I went to the party and he was there. And there were tinglies in my skin dancing like ants all over me. Melissa came too, but she couldn't feel the tinglies. I was looking at him and he was looking at me, and we were looking at pocket, and he showed her to everyone, and I could hear her crying because he was squeezing her too hard, and they were all laughing, and her wings were shining as she tried to fly away, and then he pulled and they were gone. Shining in one hand while his other defiled her pure white body. I could see her struggling to get away, everyone still laughing, and he looked so tall. And I realized I was on the floor, and he threw her body at me and ran away with her wings, and I felt my own wings disappearing. I cradled her in my hands, me petting her, crying, me crying, us laying there on the ground, crying, unable to fly. And I decided right then and there that I would never, ever go to a party again. But Melissa had other plans, and she asked me really nice and promised me that if we came tonight, and if I told you this story, and maybe, just maybe, my wings would come back. But I still don't feel them. Melissa, you were wrong. Our wings are never coming back. I shouldn't have come. I should not have come to this party. Melissa, they're looking at me, all of them looking at me. Stop it! Stop looking at me! And you better